Roof open for Sunday Night Football from Toronto. Two teams going in opposite directions, colliding as the 1-5 Edmonton Eskimos meet the Eastern leading 5-2 Toronto Argonauts. There's Scott Milanovich's Argos coming off a 38-18 victory in Montreal 10 days ago. Argos trying to win 4 straight for the first time since 2007.
Scott Milanovich and Ricky Ray will get one of their deep threats back. Dontrell Inman's missed 4 games due to hamstring issues. Back in the lineup tonight to complement John Childs, who's coming on at that wide receiver spot. In the middle of the defense for the Edmonton Eskimos, Rennie Curran will replace the record-breaking J.C. Sherritt in the middle at middle linebacker for the Eskimos.
Well, Cavis Reed's Eskimos come off the bye and 2 last-play losses in Montreal and against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It extends their season skid to 4 losses in a row. But the Eskimos have won their last 3 regular season visits here and have won 8 of their last 10 against Toronto. Chad Owens is back to receive the kickoff. A big return game in the Argos' last start against Montreal. He had 188 kick return yards, including a 118-yard touchdown off a missed field goal. Grant Shaw's got it on the tee, and we're set to wrap up week number 8 in the Canadian Football League. Owens from just outside his 5. Following Xander Robinson, got a block. And Eli Nagoya will bring him down across the 30-yard line. And those two get up scrambling a bit. Ricky Ray, one of the best ever, playing best ever football.
Completing 76.4% of his passes, has not thrown an interception this season. Mentioned Childs in the last 2 games has 3 touchdowns, and he will now be complemented with Dontrell Inman. And there's Chad Owens in that 118-yard missed field goal return versus Montreal, the longest of his career.
So Ray, who has been red hot, comes out firing. Chad Owens has the first down and drags the pile up to the 45-yard line. Our starting lineup's brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
I'll take a look at the Edmonton defense. Few players to watch. Rennie Curran is the guy, the Georgia Bulldog, that will replace J.C. Sherritt. The leading tackler for the Edmonton Eskimos on defense is Damaso Munoz. He'll play that strong side. And Joe Burnett is back at corner. Missed a couple of games due to injury. Looking for his first pick of 2013.
Chad Owens, the leading receiver in the Canadian Football League, with 14 on the first play from scrimmage. And now Ray, that call caught by Mike Bradwell. Another first down up at midfield. So the last 40 passes by Ricky Ray, he's at 90%. He's completed 36 of his last 40.
It really is remarkable, his completion percentage. Think back to a couple of games ago when he was injured in that Winnipeg game, all but 1 incompletion in about 3/4 of work. And as I mentioned, well over 75%, 76.4, all ahead of the league record set by Dave Dickinson in 2005.
Ball across midfield, a fake to Curtis Steele, and the hitch goes to Owens. 3 plays, 3 completions, and this just short of the 3rd first down as Owens gets 9.
Yeah, this offense for the Toronto Argonauts, when you have completion percentage like that for Ricky Ray, just get yourself open. If you're an Argo receiver, he'll get you the football. And there are the leaders when it comes to completion percentage in a single season. Dave Dickinson in 2005 currently holds the record at 74%. And right now, Ricky Ray 3 for 3 to start this game.
Short yardage team comes in. Zach Collaros will plunge ahead. Not much of a surge. Gets knocked back and won't get the first down. Odell Willis helps plug the hole. There's Rennie Curran replacing J.C. Sherritt. The Eskimos really high on Curran in training camp in the preseason. The only problem was where to play him with the healthy J.C. Sherritt.
Yeah, trying to get him on the roster. I mean, they had him on as a DI. Watch 35, middle of your screen on the short yardage. He's just going to come up over the top of this and make first contact. Can't hesitate in short yardage. Look at that, up over the top and pulls Collaros down.
So no gain, 3rd and 1. And the Argos leave Collaros out. two backs, Robinson in motion, and Colares will throw, and it's Xander Robinson wide open, and a touchdown in the last home game. He's got another touchdown. Robinson, 45 yards. A new secret weapon, the fullback, Xander Robinson.
Comes out of the tight end position, and Xander Robinson is wide open, dropped in coverage. It looks like Damaso Munoz is in chase. Was the guy that was responsible for tight end. He played the short yardage, tried to attack the line of scrimmage, and Robinson got outside him.
5 plays, a 79-yard touchdown drive for the Argonauts, and Prefontaine adds the extra point. Quick start for the red-hot Argonauts as Xander Robinson hits pay dirt. "45-yard touchdown reception by Xander Robinson as the Argos off to another quick start. Hugh Charles awaits as Prefontaine kicks it off. Charles has had some success recently on the kick returns, and this is a good one out beyond the 40, close to the 45.
Well, Robinson on that touchdown actually starts in the fullback position, and then he'll waggle down. Now watch Damaso Munoz react to him, but then his vision is in the wrong place. If he's got to take 87, he's got to stick with him, hold it there. Now you see he gets caught looking at Zach Colares, and when he does, his feet in the cement, can't catch up. Now he's in full chase, just trying to scramble back to make the tackle.
Second touchdown for Robinson, and the 4th touchdown pass of the year for the Argo backup Colares. Like Riley to work, going through his reads and finds Kuhorn out here on this near side, and Kuhorn across midfield has a first down for the Eskimos on their initial play from scrimmage.
Well, it's only his 9th start, but Mike Riley is getting better. In fact, their last game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, his first career 300-yard passing game. He's got Fred Stamps more involved as the offense as this season has gone on. In fact, they're starting to make the big play down the field. One guy we're going to watch on the O-line is Matt O'Donnell, who bumps out to tackle.
There's Riley, play action fake, gets it in the hands of Marcus Henry, who gets away down the sidelines, and he'll get pushed out by Gatlin, but back-to-back first downs on a 31-yarder to Henry, who's become a bigger part of this Eskimo offense in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they're trying to get him more and more involved. He's averaging just a couple of catches per game in the last few, but they're trying to get him more and more involved. A big target, want to get him down the seam. Trying to get this good pace of this first drive going, too.
And 10, Eskimos at the Argo 20-yard line. Charles stays in the block. Wide open again is Henry. And Marcus Henry is bumped out around the 10.
What a response for the Edmonton Eskimos on the road to that first Toronto touchdown. Take a look at the Argonaut defense in the middle. It's Robert McCune that leads the way in tackles with 38. And I say lead the way on his team. Khalif Mitchell is on pace for the exact same season he had a couple of years ago in that big year with the BC Lions. And Matt Black is settling in nicely at that free safety spot. At his first sack of his career in their last game.
That's short of another first down for Edmonton, a team that's been emphasizing better starts. Just a field goal in each of the last 4 opening quarters.
Well, it's better starts, Chris, and also a response in this case to the first Argo touchdown. Not hanging their heads, came right out here, moved it right down the field. Couple throws to Marcus Henry, and they're in scoring range.
You mentioned Mike Riley coming off his first 300-yard game, also his best completion percentage performance of the year, 65.6% against the Ticats. Free play, perhaps. They hand it off to Charles inside, and he'll get the first down. stacked up there inside. Austin English with the tackle for the Argonauts.
Just got to become a little more proficient when they're inside the 20-yard line in that scoring zone, because you want to get that 10 touchdowns and try and get that up in the 60-70 percentile range.
Calvin McCarty and Charles stay in the block. A lot of time, but now Riley pulls it down, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage.
What a good decision for Mike Riley not to force the football. He had pretty good coverage when he looked downfield. I think Kerry Koch at the back of the end zone was trying to come across. He was well covered by Pat Watkins.
Marcus Ball has his second sack of the year. And it's 2nd and goal for the Eskimos at the Argo 8. Charles releases. There's Charles with it. Take it down. The hammer. Robert McCune with the defensive play.
What a close from the middle linebacker spot. It was hammer time, because you see Hughes coming out of the backfield. Watch how quickly 45 shows up, and he makes up that 5 yards in a heartbeat.
Number 4 in tackles coming into this week. Now 39 tackles on the season for Robert McCune. And Grant Shaw will come on to attempt a short field goal. Of course, Shaw missed from 50 on the final play of the game at Commonwealth on August the 2nd, as the Eskimos headed into the bye on a heartbreaking note, a 30-29 loss against the Ticats. Shaw puts that through, so both teams put points on the board on their opening possessions here at Rogers Center. Time for the GM Coach's Playbook. Here's Paul Lapalisse.
Yeah, Chris, I'm seeing some really good things right now from Mike Riley. 4 for 4 passing. Let's look at some film of what I saw last week from him. I think this kid's starting to process faster and see things better. The inside linebacker, he's already in a position where he's outflanked by Calvin McCartney in the back. Watch his eyes. He looks outside to the corner. It's a 2-on-1. He makes a fast decision because he knows the linebacker's inside. He throws it out here. You're going to see a beautiful throw out here to Calvin McCartney. Now, what happens here is when you locate the ball this well, he can catch that thing and turn up and take a 6-yard gain, turn it into a 15-yard play. So he's doing great. He started out great to start the game here.
4 for 4, and a good response to the Argo touchdown, although they would have preferred, obviously, to come away with a major. But we'll take the points and a bit of an answer.
Shaw kicks it off. And here comes Chad Owens again. Robinson leading the way. And Owens will reach the 30-yard line. And Ricky Ray will go back to work.
Well, started the last series, the first of this game for the Argos, but it was Zach Kolaris that finished it with the throw and short yardage.
Coach talking about going through the reads, and Scott Milanovic has been stressing that right now Ricky Ray is progressing through his reads as well as he possibly can in this intricate Argo offense.
That Montreal win got his record as a starter for Toronto.
Edmonton number 55 will re-kick 10 yards back.
Well, they're going to re-kick it.
Legal interference, a call against L.A. Nagoya. And the Argos want the option of a better return. Rookie out of Bishops, who the Eskimos really like for his special teams play.
Made the first tackle on the opening kickoff as well. Ricky Ray's record now at 10-9 as a Toronto Argonaut after the win against the Montreal Alouettes, up over 500. And you get the feeling when he gets in that zone that the only thing that can stop him is him.
And Ricky Ray without an interception since the first toss of the Grey Cup game last year. So he's gone 180 passes without having one intercepted. So back at the 25, Shaw's got to do it again with a tired cover team, and
Yeah.
Chad Owens would love to take advantage of this.
Yeah, that's a good decision. I think make him kick it again. You got Chad Owens back there, but now that cover team has to take a big deep breath and run another 60-yard sprint.
Shaw taking his time, and now boots it downfield. It will be John Childs, a speedster, up across the 40, and he'll get punished around the 43-yard line as the cover team gets down to get the job done. Chris Rabacumba in on the tackle.
168 start for number 15, the CFL career. Has not beat the Edmonton Eskimos in the regular season. Of course, as you mentioned off the top, Chris, that semifinal game in the East last year on their way to winning the 100th Grey Cup championship. But did not beat Edmonton last year in the regular season.
Waves Childs in motion. Dury goes the same way. Ricky Ray looks to the opposite side, and Owens is there. He gets by the first man, Chris Thompson, and it's another first down for Chad Owens, leading the league in all-purpose yards coming into this week.
This is the zone that he gets into, and it's early in this game. I realize that, but he's already picking up where he left off, because this looks like pitch and catch against practice. Throw it out there, and Chad Owens does the rest, makes the first guy miss, moves the chains, and a new set of downs.
Third catch for Owens, 46 on the year, as he's over 500 yards on the season. Receiving-wise, Curtis Steele, a game-time decision as the running back nearly squirted out of there for big yardage. He'll get pulled down by
Curtis Steele does get the start. Quinn Porter is also dressed tonight, and we'll see a little bit of him in the lineup. Steele's banged up and playing hurt, as are a lot of players after the first third of the season, but he was a little nicked, so they split reps throughout the work week. So Curtis Steele gets the start in the first couple of series. We'll see little Quinn Porter here tonight as well.
But also Munoz, the tackle on Steele on that last play. Steele releases, far side. Andre Dury is upended immediately. There's the newcomer on the corner, Brian Williams, taking over for the injured Aaron Grimes. He's tested early.
This offensive line has given up the fewest sacks in the Canadian Football League. Throwing lanes, really nobody in the face of Ricky Ray. The completion percentage is a reflection of the way the guys up front are blocking. Now, they don't get the first down, but it is another completion.
But short of a first down, so Prefontaine will angle the punt into the corner. That's down around the 10-yard line as the veteran and former Eskimo gets the job done. New look front for the Edmonton Eskimos. That offensive line has got some new faces, including Alex Krosnick at center, playing his first game as an Edmonton Eskimo. Matt O'Donnell, big 66, moves to right tackle. And a newcomer, number 69 at left guard, is Miles Mason out of Utah. Davis Reed calls him a road grader. See if he can help kickstart the run game that the Eskimos badly need to improve. It'll be Riley to the air here, and that pass batted down by Marcus Ball. Let's check in with Matt Shinetti on the sidelines.
Chris, we've all seen the Argos have a lot of changes in their defense throughout the early part of this season. See Austin English on the defensive line. Alonzo Lawrence get Defensive Player of the Week after making his debut last week. And I asked Robert McEwen about that, the veteran linebacker in the defense, and he said maybe it's down to an intellectual exercise that defensive coordinator Chris Jones puts his guys through, particularly the substitutes and the newcomers. He has them stand up in front of the defense during meetings and explain exactly what the opposition assignments are, what their assignments are, and what everybody else's assignments are on their team, so that everyone is locked in and that there's a sense of accountability. McEwen said everybody knows what they have to do, so if a new piece is plugged in, they can succeed right away. Guys?
Good idea. Test the guys just like they were back in college. Make sure they understand the assignments, where they have to be. Assignment, alignment, execution.
Well, you've seen the improvement in recent weeks in this young Argo defense. Big first down, though, for Mike Riley as he hooked up with Kuhorn. Got 12 and a little breathing room. He'll look to the near side. There's Riley again, and there is the defensive player of the week, Alonzo Lawrence.
Well, and there's a couple of changes in that secondary, and they have got to know their assignments. Lawrence is just heard is the defensive player of the week in his first start, and Josh Gatlin will play halfback. They released Jansen Jackson as Gatlin comes off the practice roster. So young, but assignment sound.
Second down, here comes the pressure. Riley underneath, and Kerry Coates got the catch and a first down, and he gets away. And Coates will finally get dragged down by Shane Horton up at the 45-yard line, but it's an Eskimo first down.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Corner number 45. 15 yards at the end of the play. First down.
And tack on the 15 on the roughing the passer charged against Robert McCune. It's the fourth roughing the passer penalty against the Argos this season.
Yeah, let's take a look. He got there late. Scott Milanovic hates the call. They replayed it here inside the dome and comes through and just kind of brushes him. I'm not sure that constitutes a late hit call.
Three-man rush and a pass for Stamps, and he gets hammered. Jalil Carter with the contact on Fred Stamps, the most dangerous receiver in the Eskimos arsenal, fourth in the league with 401 yards receiving.
Jalil Carter was upset with the last play because Kerry Koch, he had him in a one-on-one on that crossing route to get it up here, and he has all kinds of space, and that's advantage offense. So Jalil Carter had to deal with this on that last play. And then he gets upset and he says, well, now it's advantage defense. Ball's in the air in a deep route, I'm going to lower the boom.
Eskimos going no huddle, and Nate Kuhorn was not only offside, but before the ball was snapped, he'd already turned back looking for the football.
Number 86. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Check that Matt Carter. Matt Carter, 86, was on a different snap count.
So he ran his route offside.
So it looks like a lot of no huddle or quick work by the Eskimos to try and keep Chris Jones' defense off balance. Second and 15. Riley threads the needle, stamps the catch, and the first down. Somehow Mike Riley got it through a tight window with Argos surrounding Fred Stamps.
You know, I talked to the Edmonton Eskimos before the game about this. We might see a little bit of hurry up. They feel like they've got some horses at receiver, young guys that like to get out there and run, like Fred Stamps, like Marcus Henry, Shamad Chambers, guys like that. So if they say they feel like they can get a defense off balance and starting to suck wind a little bit if they go in a hurry up.
Riley 8 for 10 out of the gate. Here's Hugh Charles. And he'll be wrestled down by former USC Trojan Shane Horton.
Boy, Shane Horton is he just makes plays. He's around the football. He doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, or at least hasn't, but has a couple of fumble recoveries, a couple forced fumbles. I mean, the guy just makes plays when they get him on the football field, and when you do that, you find yourself out there a lot more.
A hybrid guy can play linebacker, DB, and has requested that he get to play on every special team. Second down, Riley, pocket collapsing, Kuhorn near side, and there's Horton on the job again to make sure he doesn't get any extra yards down the sideline.
Yeah, he read that nicely. The Toronto Argonauts lead the league in forced fumbles. They have 8 total, 6 of them in the last couple of games, and a couple from Shane Horton. And that time he was just dropping to the flat or the sideline. Got underneath that throw, was right there to make the tackle.
So the Eskimos field goal unit on for the second time in this opening quarter. It'll be a 38-yard attempt by Shaw out of the hold of Kerry Joseph. And Shaw gets it in. So a 1-point game here with just under 2 minutes left. in the opening quarter. Ricky Ray and the high-powered Argo offense gets set to get back on the field. CFL on TSN continues on Thursday. The BC Lions kick off against the Alouettes in Montreal. Live coverage gets underway 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific here on TSN. A heartbreaking loss for the Alouettes and a slugfest that the Lions won in 2 good games yesterday
in New Jersey.
Yeah. Do we get those next week? And could we make them orange numbers if we do? But they look good.
They look good. That was cool. Black helmets.
Short yardage team will come on after that completion up to the 43-yard line. And so Ray to the sidelines, and Zach Collaros, who has a touchdown pass out of a short yardage formation, back in. It'll be Curtis Steele. And Steele gets stopped up on 2nd down. And did we see Collaros stay in on 3rd down? Doesn't look like it.
Well, it's a different part of the field, too. Yep. They had another about 15, 20 yards when they actually went for it down on 3rd and 1, and it's a long yard. So Scott Milanovic is going to put the punt team out there.
It's like 1.5 yards, and so the Eskimos defense has forced Prefontaine back onto the field for his 2nd punt.
Looked like Curtis Steele slipped a little bit on that cut.
Kerry Koch is back. Short kick off the side of his foot. And it will bounce back. Prefontaine hustling after it, but Koch scoops it up, and Edmonton will get good field position here up at the 43-yard line.
Good field position and a couple of really good drives, for the Edmonton Eskimos. Yes, they'd like to finish those drives with touchdowns, but their first one that was response to the Argo opening drive touchdown was 57 yards.
87. That penalty decline. First down.
Second one that started on their own 11-yard line went 67 yards and ended in a field goal. So a 1-point game because of 2 pretty impressive drives for the Eskimos to start this game on the road.
Just a 24-yard punt by Prefontaine as it bounced back, and Koch was able to surge forward further than the 5-yard penalty that would have been assessed against Xander Robinson. First down and inside Calvin McCarty as the fullback has a short gain up to the 45-yard line.
Bring John White in there, so they basically have a 2-back set. John White's going to take some reps for Hugh Charles, and McCarty is the fullback. You got to give him the ball every now and then just to keep defenses honest.
Fullback who has played slot back and is a reliable receiver.
A laudable here from Mike Riley.
See what he's got. 2nd down, looking for Marcus Henry, who's wide open with a good grab. Cut down by Jermaine Gabriel at the Toronto 41-yard line. Final play of the first quarter, and although the Eskimos trail by 1, a good quarter for the green and gold. That offense is moving. Good first quarter, a 1-point game, and there are the numbers after 15 minutes.
Well, there's been 19 pass attempts between the 2 teams and only 2 incompletions, so both quarterbacks in a bit of a rhythm here, and over 100 yards in 2 drives for the Edmonton Eskimos. So I'm with you. Even though they're down by a point, I think that would be a real good road quarter for Edmonton.
Team that has been stressing being better out of the gate, and that's probably the best first quarter we've seen by them, with the exception of the game in Hamilton.
Yeah, they want to finish with majors, and they want to, when they get, especially that first drive, get inside the 20-yard line. You want to come away with a touchdown in that case, but because that'll come back and grab you. But 2 good drives, moving the ball effectively. Still haven't seen a whole lot of run. I think that was going to be a point of emphasis this week for Edmonton.
24-yard gain On the last play of the first quarter to Henry. First down. Fake to White. A lot of time. And downfield. Kuhorn can't make the catch. In behind coverage. He got in behind Alonzo Lawrence.
He was in behind, then tried to read the football as it was coming down to him. Mike Riley took his time, waited for him to open up. Put it out there. He was in behind by about 3 steps and just misjudged the pass. It was on his outside shoulder, not his inside shoulder.
Eskimos have also been more proficient with the big play. 9 passes of 30 yards or more in the last 3 games. 2nd and 10. Quarterback draw. And Mike Riley down to the 31-yard line and close to the first down. Well, we've seen Riley run a lot. He leads the league among quarterbacks in rushing and number 7 overall with over 200 yards of rushing.
Well, it opens up for him nicely. A called quarterback draw, and Mike Riley just takes his back, takes a couple of steps, and then look at the hole that opens up for him. Robert McCune, who had dropped into pass coverage, is the first guy to make contact and took a lot of hits against Hamilton, Chris, but goes up and takes a hit where he can be the hammer a little bit.
Spot not as good as I thought it might have been. They mark him back at the 33, so it is 3rd down, and the field goal team on once again with Grant Shaw, this time sizing up a 40-yarder. And Shaw nails that, and the Eskimos have the lead. Early 2nd quarter, 9-7 Edmonton. 9 straight Edmonton Eskimo points. Let's head back to the sidelines here again. Matt Chinetti.
Chris, after that last offensive series for the Argos, head coach Scott Milanovich came off the field with the offensive line screaming at them after that short yardage play where they couldn't move the sticks. He said, guys, get on somebody. Get them off us. Push them, push them. And there were a lot of other colorful words used, and then the line sat down, and offensive line coach Steve McAdoo continued lacing into the offensive line and seemed to be directing it particularly at Chris Van Zyl and Jeff Keeping. And guys, it's going to be at this point, when they were coming off, there still was a lot of tension.
Well, they were three carries for 4 yards until that fly sweep to Chad Owens, and their most productive run of the game is a first down for Owens.
So it looks like the offensive line right out of the gate heard and received the message, and we're now trying to execute it. 2 short yardage plays turned away, and that's when Scott Milanovich wanted to have a little chat with those guys up front.
Argos are the 7th-ranked run team in the league, but on the plus side for that O-line, they are the best at protecting the quarterback, who throws another strike. TJ Hill with the tackle, and another catch for Chad Owens. It's looking like a big night for the reigning MOP. 4th catch.
Who's averaging just the 192 yards per game this year. On pace again for another 3,000-yard all-purpose season. Actually, almost 3,500 yards in all-purpose yards is his pace.
Number 2 in yards after the catch. Number 2 in 2nd down clutch catches. And this time they'll get the first down and more. Oh, back to a hole. It's Curtis Steele on the run down to the 26 before he's pushed out by Brian Williams. Well, that offensive line got the message.
Well, it starts with center Jeff Keeping. Let's take a look if they did, and you can see him just take off the ball here. He's going to make first contact, and what did Scott Milanovich say? Get somebody, get on them, and move them. And that time, Donna Ramaccion was on a little bit of roller skates, got pushed back about 3-4 yards, opened up a nice hole for Curtis Steele.
26-yard run for Steele. 4th run of over 20 yards for the Argos on the year. There's a pass. Owens had to reach down to make the catch. And has another first down.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Owens had to fight back to get to that football. Ricky Ray put that one a little bit low, and he got it. And watch how he, with his right arm, swats away the hands I believe it was Joe Burnett.
Was Burnett. TJ Hill makes the tackle, but it's 12 more for Owens. Had an 11-catch game earlier this year against BC. First down at the 15. Ray has time. Underneath it goes, and a big hit by TJ Hill. Catch made by Dontrell Inman back in the Argos offense with a flag down on the play.
Ricky Ray wanted to throw it to the corner, which he often does in this part of the field. But the Edmonton Eskimos know that as well.
Prior to the pass being thrown, illegal contact on the receiver. Edmonton number 23. Half the distance to the goal line.
And maybe that's why he didn't throw to the corner. Marcel Young with illegal contact to call.
Well, yeah, it's exactly right. It's going to be Andre Dury who's going to come out and try and run that corner right. Watch what Edmonton does. They know Ricky Ray loves this play down here, so they're going to double team him. Have one guy run underneath. He got contact. That was Marcel Young. Turned and spun Andre Dury, threw him to the ground, but they had that corner double teamed.
What an example of how quickly, though, Ray gets to the second read. First and goal, end zone toss, Jason Barnes, touchdown. The old Edmonton connection.
And that's what happens when you overplay the corners. We have a one-on-one to the middle of the field, and it's the most direct throw as Ricky Ray puts it right on Jason Barnes, who now has 3 touchdowns in his last 3 games.
Fifth touchdown of the season for Barnes, had 4 all of last year. Argos reclaim the lead. Prefontaine adds the extra point. Well, they used to do this for Edmonton. Now they've done it against the Eskimos. Ray to Barnes for the touchdown.
Everybody back home. Thanks, y'all. See y'all soon. Everybody in Edmonton is still riding with me. Gotcha.
Another scoring march for Ricky Ray, who's now 9 for 9 in the game. And hooking up with Jason Barnes for a touchdown.
You know, he was just saying to Jason Moss, Jason Barnes may have had the read route there. I just talked to Coach LaPolice about that, where if the DB is overplaying to the corner, just take it to the post.
Charles on the return gets slowed up by Jamie Robinson and then finished off by James Jurchuk.
Brian Williams is playing for Aaron Grimes on the corner. He's going to pick up the coverage here of Jason Barnes on this route. Watch how much he overplays this corner route. Stop it right there, guys. See how he jumps to the outside to take away any outside throw. Now look at the void. He's left wide open. No safety help in the middle. That's direct route for the football. He throws the corner route better than anyone in the league's history, but if you overplay it too much, you leave the middle of the field wide open.
Up at the 32-yard line, Hugh Charles off the right side, and Charles able to stay upright and get a first down. Good run by Hugh Charles, and Eskimos looking for more of that on the ground.
Well, they really are. I mean, you think back to that Hamilton game, the win out in Guelph for the Edmonton Eskimos. That was Hugh Charles' best game, over 100 yards rushing in that one. And I talked to Kerry Joseph before the game, backup quarterback, third-string quarterback here for Edmonton. He said that we want to get him more involved. We got to have balance to help Mike Riley.
Only 9 touches for the running backs in the last game against Hamilton. Kerry Koch a catch and dropped at the 50-yard line. Tackle made by Pat Watkins.
Kerry Koch's been more productive playing beside Fred Stamps. And when they moved him a couple of games ago, they put those two in tandem for the most part. Now, they'll move around a lot of different sets, but for the most part, they'll be in tandem, often to the short side of the field. So Koch and Stamps together in the last 2 games, almost 200 yards and 12 catches. I love this move. Hard to defend.
Hard to defend Mike Riley right now. He's 11 for 14. And 141 yards so far. Second down across the middle. Shamrock Chambers has has the first down. He's cut down by Jalil Carter. Chambers excited about playing back at home. 14 tickets for the game and said it was a kid's dream to play a pro football game here for him growing up.
And this is knowledge of the offense, and Mike Riley just taking another step in his progression. Watch how he recognizes the free blitz off the edge and knows that he's got to dump it and get rid of the football. He's the guy who's taking care of that blitzer with his arm.
6 different receiver, hand off, and this time not going anywhere. Shane Horton is there. Not listed as a starter, but he's playing like one, isn't he?
He's going to mess around, become a starter in a hurry, because he was the guy blitzing on Mike Riley on the play where he dumped it over the middle. Just beat him with his arm quickly on that last play, but not this time. Right through B-gap, unblocked.
Argos going with a 3-man front, and Horton, the 4th linebacker.
B-gap between guard and tackle.
Edmonton number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
New father Simeon Rotier called for procedure.
We'll give him one of those. Probably a couple of sleepless nights over the last.
Just want to make sure we mention Rustin Elijah arriving last Tuesday, so our congratulations to him.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll not have one.
Of course, he is renewing acquaintances with Malik Mitchell down there in the trenches. 2nd and 15. Argo defense moving around. Riley has some time, and he'll take off. And Mike Riley is dropped at the 48-yard line short of the first down.
I know that Kavis Reed has talked to Riley about trying to be smart about the hits that he takes. He's going to have to take some, and every quarterback will take some to get rid of the ball, to execute a play, and to take a hit to complete a pass and say blitz. But Kavis Reed wanting to make sure that he's smart about it and gets in the open field. Now, for Mike Riley, he's saying when we're struggling like we are, and as close as we are, he wants to get every inch he can get.
After field goals on their opening 3 possessions, shot a punt for the first time, and Owens awaits at the 5. Thought about it, and then launches it down, and Owens grabs it and gets a block. What a huge block that was! And Chad Owens out across the 25-yard line. That was Jay Pottinger, the McMaster product and Whitby native, and Mike O'Shea out to congratulate him on that thundering block. Well, give Edmonton Eskimo long snapper Ryan King credit. He gets up smiling after that hit, and there's a reason they call Jason Pottinger the pot sticker.
2006, 2nd overall pick by the BC Lions, on the teams here in Toronto, backup linebacker, and that's a big hit on the teams.
Ricky Ray dumping it off inside Andre Dury. Brought down by Marcel Young. Dury, the leader in the Canadian Football League in yards after the catch coming into this game.
Yeah, we have 1 and 2. Andre Dury at 1 and Chad Owens, his teammate, at number 2.
And that's why the message from Kavis Reed was to limit the yards after the catch, get them on the ground as soon as they make the catch. 2nd and 5. And another completion for Ray. He is throwing darts, and Dontrell Inman has the latest catch.
Well, we're closing in on halftime, and Ricky Ray is now 12 for 12, 100% in the completion percentage department.
And in his last 3 starts now, that's 46 of 50, 92%. So he's getting better. 19 of 20 to start the game in Winnipeg with a drop. Misdirection. Curtis Steele trying to get inside. TJ Hill not having any of of it, dropping him for a loss back at the 35.
Yeah, it was the right guy for the Eskimos defensively to be out there because of his speed. TJ Hill is that hybrid linebacker, the defensive back converted, former Montreal Alouette. He's right off the edge, and he's the guy in contain. He sees it, recognizes it, and has the quickness and speed to corral Curtis Steele, who again is playing a little bit nicked, doesn't have that acceleration to the outside.
And on this night, TJ Hill has moved into the Edmonton Eskimos all-time top 10 in tackles, with a couple so far in this first half. Ray underneath. Andre Drury, another catch. Trying to add to his yak total. And he has another first down, an 11-yard pickup. We'll check that after the loss. See.
Yeah. Short, and they'll have
force
to
the
kick.
butt team on. Excuse me.
Yeah,
But Ricky Ray remains perfect.
Yeah, he remains perfect, and that running play snuffed out by TJ Hill put him in that difficult situation in the first place. So Kerry Koch, who's got a nice average on the return game, get the ball back to the Edmonton offense.
Fontaine's last punt, just 24 yards. This one drives Koch back inside his 10. Good move by Prefontaine. And a flag down as Pottinger was downfield in a hurry. And last time he had the big block. This time I think he drew an illegal block.
He did. He got up waving his hands as if that's going to cost you some yardage. I didn't see the number as to who got the clip.
Illegal block. Edmonton number 44. Half citizen.
Josh Jesse,
First down.
also a former BC Lion. It'll be interesting to match up to watch on the teams if they stay together. Podger right in the middle of your screen. Number 44 trailing them. And if you see the name tag, you got to let up there.
55-yard punt and tack on the penalty. End result, Riley and the Eskimos start inside their 5. Inside handoff, and Hugh Charles being tackled and pushed back. Robert McCune on the scene.
Well, you know, it's a penalty that, you know, we see quite often, illegal blocks on punt returns, but this is a big one. I mean, they had the Eskimos decent field position coming out after the TJ Hill defensive play. The Argos forced a punt when they don't convert. Josh Jesse now has them in a position. If they don't convert here, Mike Riley can't get the first down. Got to make a decision as to whether they give up 2 this late in the first half.
Launching wide open. Fred Stamps got it up at the 45-yard line. Breathing room for the Eskimos as Riley connects with Stamps on another 30-plus play. 38 and a first down for the Eskimos at the 3-minute warning.
Well executed play against zone with Fred Stamps right here. You got Nate Kuhorn coming in the post. Alonzo Lawrence has got to stay in the deep outside third. Now hold it right here, guys. Watch how the corner now. Lawrence jumps that post route and leaves Fred Stamps in behind, wide open. Mike Riley gets it to him and gets his offense out of the hole.
6 catch of 30 yards or more for Stamps on the season. And now they'll set up the screen. Charles and Jamie Robinson disrupts that. Breaking through to make the tackle and containing Charles to a gain of about 2.
You mentioned it earlier, Chris, about the big plays that the Eskimos have been able to make over the last 3 games. 9 passing plays over 30 yards. That's just comfort zone with Mike Riley and his receivers. Certainly Fred Stamps have got a couple of big plays already in this game tonight.
Take another shot for Stamps. He's got it. Fred Stamps pulls it down in traffic. And it's another Another explosive play from Riley to Stamps.
Third play over 30 yards, and Stamps and Riley getting on that same page over the last few games. They got him on the wheel in his zone, and this is just straight man-to-man with a free man over the middle. Matt Black can't get there.
Half the distance to the goal line from the end of the play. First down.
That's perfect accuracy from Mike Riley, and a late penalty on a rough play from Shane Horton on quarterback Mike Riley will tack on some yards here.
And remember, this drive started inside the Eskimo 5-yard line.
And Josh Jesse is feeling a little bit better. His offense bailed him out. Take a look at the penalty. Ball's gone.
First and goal. Riley hits with a flag down, and Kerry Cope dropped the ball, and it ends up out of bounds. Will remain Edmonton football, and there's a flag down in the vicinity of where Cope caught the pass.
Yeah, it came out quite early, though, almost on the snap of the ball. Remember their opening drive of the game.
Offside. Corner number 27. Half the distance to the goal line. Main second down.
Well, there's Horton lining up offside, so back-to-back penalties for
Correction, first down.
number 27.
First down over again, 5 yards closer. That opening drive, the Edmonton Eskimos inside the 20-yard line came away with the field goal.
3 field goal drives in the game for Edmonton, looking to punch in for the first time.
Shane Horton's made some plays already tonight and over the last couple of games, and now that's back-to-back penalties.
McCarty and Charles, a two-back set for Edmonton. Protection's good. Back of the end zone. Kerry Cope, touchdown. Second touchdown of the year for Kerry Cope. And the Edmonton Eskimos back in the lead.
There you go, Kerry. There you go. Some great catch.
First half from Mike Riley.
Really has been, and this is a perfect throw. That throw down the sideline to Fred Stamps, I think, as good as I've seen from Mike Riley all season long. And Riley, with this touchdown, is now 16 of 19, 235 yards passing, and that touchdown to Kerry Cope. Edmonton Eskimos have the lead.
The extra and the Edmonton Eskimos lead 16-14 here late in the opening half, and a little rough stuff going on after the convert as they mix it up a bit. Donoram Sion in the middle of that.
Let's go, Mike.
Kerry Cope finishes it off. Good drive from Mike Riley. What a first half for him. Picking up from the momentum of the first 300-yard game of his career. There's Kerry Cope here. Now let's follow him on this play. Again, working on the short side of the field with Fred Stamps has really paid off for this Edmonton football team. Just gets in behind Pat Watkins, a bit of a sloppy switch as they try to drop each other's man there, and Watkins in the chase position. But Mike Riley on pace for his first 400-yard game of his career. 6
plays, 106 yards. Riley caps it with the 4-yard toss to Cope.
Keep it up. This thing on?
I love the throw.
What's up? That's to you, Ty. What's up? I'm all good. Thanks for the prayers.
Mike Riley's throw to Fred Stamps, not the first one on the wheel route, but that deep one down the sideline when he got man-to-man with Matt Black coming over the top and still dropped it right into the hands of Fred Stamps.
Well, still time for Ricky Ray to answer in this first half. Owens will try and set it up for him. And Rennie Curran down to make the special teams tackle. We've seen some quarterbacking in this first half, haven't we?
We are seeing some top-notch quarterbacking. Ricky Ray hasn't stretched the field quite as much as Mike Riley has. That might be the next step. He does have Dontrell Inman back in the lineup, and John Childs has been coming on of late.
Heavy 6.
Skip out at the 45-yard line. 88 seconds on the clock for Ray and company to work with.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time for one of the great quarterbacks in this game's history, with a coach that knows the position like the back of his hand.
The two quarterbacks are now 30 for 33 in the game. Ray's only perfect at 14 for 14.
It's a clinic.
First down, and now they got a tie, and taken down. Ball came loose, and who's on it? Sir Vincent Rogers comes up with the ball. The left tackle saves it for the Argonauts.
But Odell Willis was the guy who came around the horn and got to Ricky Ray as he stepped up. The coverage pretty good downfield.
Pass being thrown. Illegal contact on the receiver. Edmonton number 22. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Wow, before the pass, too, before the play.
Takes away the sack for Greg Marshall's defense. Joe Burnett, who has been out of the lineup for the past couple of weeks. A hamstring injury, gets called.
Well, this is right in the area that Ray was looking. That's why he couldn't throw it. There was illegal contact down the field on the receiver. Odell Willis did get the strip. New set of downs because of the penalty.
And a first down right at midfield for Toronto. Ray, far side, Mike Bradwell wide open. It's pitch and catch, and another first down. As the McMaster product has it at the 35.
Two options for Ray there. One was Andre Dury, and if he's covered, if he sucks the corner in to covering him, which is exactly what happened, that leaves Mike Bradwell open. And a smart thing for Bradwell there to get out of bounds and preserve as much time as he can.
Still over a minute to work with.
6-2.
And another Argo first down at the Eskimo 34. Here comes pressure. It's picked up, and across is caught. John Childs holds on as Burnett and Thompson take him down.
I felt that one rocked the booth a little bit. We're on the opposite side of the field.
Boy, John Childs has become a nice problem for the Argos.
Well, they don't want to take him off the field. That's why he didn't just flat out, Dontrell Inman didn't just flat out replace Childs. He's playing that well over the last couple of games.
Former Texas Longhorn. Second and short. They'll hand it off. Or Bacon. Here's Dury. Nice break to Curtis Steele. And Andre Dury's got another first down.
Curtis Steele on the last play picked up the block that allowed the throw to Mike Bradwell. And then on this play, even though he's playing a little banged up, he sells this baby. Because I thought that was a running play too. Both Ricky Ray and Curtis Steele sell the fake so well that his receiver is wide open again. Once more pitch and catch for Ricky Ray, who remains perfect.
And the Argos, the best team in the league, down inside the 20. First down just outside the 10, so they did get a first down. And they'll have to back up here as Xander Robinson moved prematurely.
Yeah, it looked like Ray was trying to check the cadence, basically stop his regular cadence and check the play.
And Murray Clark making a trip over to give Kavis Reed an option. Can decline the penalty and have the clock run.
Offside. Toronto 87. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Yeah, I think Robinson just got caught there. Ricky Ray tried to audible, change the play, and sometimes the quarterback will have to yell check, check, check so that no one moves. They can recall a play at the line of scrimmage, and on one of those checks, Robinson jumped offside.
Ricky Ray 17 for 17. First and 15. Time running out. Dumps it off to Dury. And they rallied Andre Dury and contained him right back at the line of scrimmage.
Of course, the concern for Scott Milenovich is every time Ray gets hit like that or turned or twisted like that, will his knee hold out? He's wearing a knee brace, not completely 100% according to the coach, although Ricky Ray says he feels really good and had a good work week. Didn't play the entire game against Montreal, but...
So Ricky Ray 18 for 18, the man who holds the consecutive completion record. Receiver coach Jason Moss looking on. The record's 22 into the corner. Wide open and he missed. Dontrell Inman. Moss's record is safe. And Ray laments one that he probably should have had.
And I wonder if that previous play is he was just trying to get back together there, because Ray got twisted around on the previous play where he dumped it to Andre Dury, and then that time the accuracy off, and we don't ever say that about number 15. Maybe the most accurate passer in the game's history.
So Prefontaine from 15 yards out. Check that from 20 out.
He'd be my pick anyway.
Left foots it through, and the Argonauts have reclaimed the lead. It's gone back and forth here in this first half. So he's only 18 for 19. 19 for 20 to start in Winnipeg.
The pursuit of the perfect game continues, and he's unhappy.
Yes, he is. Shaking his head on the sidelines.
Well, he had an open receiver, and that's why. I mean, that's a chance to put a major on the board. And
52 of his last 57.
Again, you hear quarterbacks talk about when they get hit, not necessarily take sacks, but when they get hit, it can affect their accuracy moving forward in a game.
Eskimos opting to just run out the clock. So he played just over a half in Winnipeg, a half against Montreal, and a half here, and he's operating at 91.2%.
Mike Riley's playing pretty well himself.
Tremendous first half for Mike Riley, and yet his crew trailed by one after 30 minutes of good football here in Toronto. Well, even the Eskimo fans liked what they saw in that first half, despite trailing 17-16. We had 4 lead changes in the opening 30 minutes of football, and look forward to seeing what these two quarterbacks do in the second half. Ricky Ray almost perfect in the opening 2 quarters.
It was amazing. Just late in the first half, just one incompletion, throw to the end zone a little too far, but beyond that, he was perfect throughout that first half. Throwing for 8 touchdowns the last couple of games before coming into this game tonight. Over 90% completion percentage.
They've readjusted the scoring line by 1. One of the completions wiped out by penalty, so officially 17 of 18 in the first half. 17 consecutive ties, an Argo club record set by Mike Ray back in 1975. Guys talking about Johnny Rogers, same era. Mike Ray, USC Trojan, 17 straight. And the Jason Moss completion record of 22 is still intact.
168 start for Ray. Mike Riley's just in his 9th, and he's hanging in there with the veteran. On pace for his first 400-yard passing game after that first half. 16 of 19 for young Mike Riley.
And he'll get his hands on the football to start this second half. Here's Hugh Charles with a little room and then gets flattened up across the 40-yard line. Pat Watkins finishes him off, but good field position to start the second half for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Now, it really is a process for a quarterback with very little experience, and Mike Riley is taking those steps, gradually moving forward. He's got that deep ball, like Coach said at halftime. 3 catches for 100 yards to Fred Stamps, a beauty down the sideline just before the end of the first half. He really threaded the needle, and then Hugh Charles got some touches, but not a lot of runs out of the backfield. I'm sure that Edmonton Eskimos would like to focus in on that run game a little bit more.
Riley throwing it. The out to Nate Kuhorn, who had just 3 catches in the last 2 games, but Kuhorn has been busier so far in this one. That's his 5th grab of the game.
You talk to his teammates and the coaching staff, this guy comes to work with his lunch pail. He works on his game after practice. That's why he's on pace for a career best season. You put the work in, it'll eventually pay off for you.
Spent a lot of time with Mike Riley back in the winter, developing some chemistry. Riley in trouble, and he's going to get dragged down. So Riley tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. It should go down as a sack, and Cleon Lang, the fine Argo rookie and Edmonton native, chalks one up.
Holy Trinity High School in Edmonton, and he and Khalif Mitchell in the middle get a nice push, and when you can push the pocket and collapse it in on the quarterback, he runs out of options in a hurry, and Mike Riley had only one option left. That was to eat it, put his punt team on the field.
First 2 and out for the Edmonton Eskimo offense on the night. 2nd sack registered by the Argos. Here's Shaw.
What the fuck are you doing?
And that's outside the numbers, and Owens dashing back and then is met and taken down at the 20-yard line.
Edmonton Eskimos be surprised if they don't try and get a little more pressure on Ricky Ray through the blitz. And when he is completing all but 1 pass in the first half, you got to get more pressure and try and rattle him a little bit if that's possible. 17 of 18. John Childs with 4 catches, and the leading receiver in the league coming into this game tonight had 5, and Chad Owens.
Scott Kalaris also with a touchdown pass on a 3rd down gamble to Xander Robinson, 45-yard play, and they're coming off, and Andre Dury off and running once again. And the former York Lion up to the 34-yard line, and first down, 7th catch for Dury.
The reason I say more blitz, too, is because when Ricky Ray's in that pocket, he's really in shotgun. It's not necessarily the quick game. He's reading, he's looking at the progressions, and Greg Marshall get a little more pressure, maybe send Rennie Curran a little bit.
Scott Milanovich did mention this week, though, that they have had answers for pressure that might discourage teams from being a little too active in that department. Hand off, and Andre Dury out of the backfield runs for a first down. The double threat. And it's back-to-back first downs to open the second half for the Argos.
The Edmonton Eskimos linebackers tried to disguise here. Damaso Munoz steps up, Rennie Curran steps up, and they get caught in that disguise because they're too close to the line of scrimmage to play this little underneath run, and they get picked up by an offensive lineman, so they can't scrape fast enough to limit that gain. Sometimes disguise can hurt you.
Eskimos also entertained one other option to stop Ricky Ray. Davis Reed said, maybe if we get 15 guys on defense and 10 in the secondary, but they haven't tried that yet tonight. There's another completion. Underneath, the catch is made, and that's a grab for Quinn Porter. Latest to grab a Ricky Ray pass in this game, the backup running back to Curtis Steele.
Well, and it's a lot of different targets. It's using the backside of the backfield. Andre Dury and Chad Owens, which you can interchange in this offense, play different spots. Both can play from the running back spot or that wide sweep. A lot of options for 15.
So he's now 19 of 20, the same start he had against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The second down play, and there's another completion, and Quinn Porter off and running, a little shift of gears, and finally poked out by Brian Williams at the 31-yard line. The Argos offense moving early in the second half.
That's pretty nice acceleration there by Quinn Porter. gets out in that flat, and again, another separate target, different target for Ray, but open and wider than any defender. You see Rennie Curran and chase. It's the corner, Brian Williams, and almost lost the angle there on Porter.
8th different receiver for the Argonauts in this game. First down, lots of time, a shot, John Childs open, touchdown! 4th touchdown in 3 weeks. Childs wide open, but going to make a good catch to secure it.
2 wide open. Had to be a bust from the Edmonton back end. Best defensive back for the Edmonton Eskimos is on the IR right now. Aaron Grimes is out due to injury. They're going after Brian Williams.
Extra point from Prefontaine. It's a 31-yard touchdown pass from Ricky Ray to John Childs. 5 plays, 90 yards, and the 4th touchdown catch of the year for John Childs.
Edmonton continues to try and just play some zone defense against Ricky Ray, and he is making them pay for it.
Well, the Eskimos answered an early touchdown by Toronto. First possession touchdown in the opening half. Let's see if they can do likewise here in the second half. Charles on the return, and a flag comes down as he steps out shy of the 30-yard line.
Let me show you that zone from the Edmonton Eskimos. It's basically just a 3-deep zone. Basic zone coverage from Edmonton. 1, 2, 3 deep. Now the Toronto Argonauts are going to go with this type of route. Now watch what happens as this unfolds, because that corner, Brian Williams, he goes, stop it here, guys. See, he goes inside. He's got to drop that off to the safety and stay deep on this play. He doesn't, and John Childs wide open in behind coverage. Basic cover 3 defense, and you shouldn't be able to get deep on a cover 3.
An illegal block and another deep start for Edmonton. And as well as Mike Riley has played in this game, 1, 2 and out, and all of a sudden you're down by 8 points. Trying to keep pace with the master and the former Edmonton Eskimo quarterback. Got it to Henry, and Marcus Henry works his way up to the 25. A first down for the Eskimos. Let's check back in with Matt Chinetti.
Guys, 2 quick notes from the Argos sidelines. One, I spoke to an Argos defenseman as before he was going on. He told me the Argos did not expect the Eskimos to go no huddle. At another note, there was a communication problem in that last offensive series. Curtis Steele was supposed to come out. He was getting work done on his left hamstring, which really angered Scott Milanovic, which precipitated Quinn Porter getting out so quickly.
Porter, a big part of the drive. A pass for Stamp sails high with Jalil Carter in coverage.
Tight coverage. I'm not so sure that Mike Riley didn't just try to throw that away. I mean, it was Jalil Carter would have had a better shot at it had been on line to Fred Stamps.
Eskimos have struggled in the third quarter this year, outscored 48-28, and the Argos have only surrendered 20 third quarter points this season. 2nd and 10. Riley going to take another shot for Stamps, and it's knocked out of his hand. Jalil Carter recovered to save the day.
Well, the ball's put right on the money from Mike Riley, but Jalil Carter, you're right, recovers on this because he's going to come and play press. Now he wants to take away the inside, and as Fred Stamps breaks to the corner, now you've got to have that makeup speed. Jalil Carter shows it there, gets underneath there, and gets that left arm in to knock the ball away. That's the tough road to cover when you're taking inside technique. And you have to because it's a shorter throw. So perfectly played by halfback Jalil Carter.
Eskimos don't get the snap away in time.
Edmonton number 11, 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Interesting. Heard that the Argos were a little surprised about the hurry up from the Edmonton Eskimos, and looks like they've made some adjustments at halftime, made sure they got their calls down so everyone knows what they're doing and they can call it live on the line. I'm sure Chris Jones at halftime talked about it and said, Robert McCune, you're the guy that's got to direct traffic. Make sure everybody knows where they're lined up.
Ryan King, the long snapper, was shaken up in the first half. Delivers the football to Shaw. Short punt. Fielded near midfield by Chad Owens, and he gets swarmed there. Chad Owens has had a big night in this Argo offense, and they go back to work here in the third quarter with an 8-point lead. Well, Saturday, TSN brings you international rugby with Canada taking on the U.S. in the second World Cup qualifying match. Presented by AIG. Live coverage begins 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on TSN2. Canada coming off a win. And the Argos back to work on offense. Ricky Ray on target again. Jason Barnes, who had a touchdown catch in the first half, has that grab in front of Joe Burnett.
Ted Laurent put a little bit of hit on Ricky Ray there. That's really the first time that I've seen in the last couple of series that they've got to him.
And he just shook the left leg a little bit.
Watch 94 at the end of this play, driving up. A little bit of a hit and brings him down. He's great protection since Scott Milanovic had a little discussion with his offensive line after a couple of series in the first quarter.
Second down, and Curtis Steele back in now, and Steele runs for the first down.
And maybe that's the one area of this football team that hasn't been talked about enough is that offensive line. I mentioned off the top that they lead the league in sacks allowed, just 10 coming into this game tonight. Kept Ricky Ray relatively clean. It was a fluke that he was injured on in Winnipeg when one of his own players kind of rolled into his knee, but last time they won that battle was 97. They won it all.
First down, Ray, low delivery, and Owens can't scoop it up. And it's the second incompletion of the night.
His 2 incompletions, Chris, were on plays right after he was hit. It was the touchdown throw. The play previous to that, I believe it was Rennie Curran, twisted him around and brought him to the ground. He was kind of shaking his leg there, and that time it was Ted Laurent.
Interesting to note, and Scott Milanovic says he's not 100%. Might be a message to the rest of the league when he is 100%. Second and 10. And that pass behind the target. Jason Barnes tried to reach back and lost his footing.
Remember when I showed you the disguise and the blitz? This time the disguise pays off as you see linebackers drop out of there after showing blitz for the Edmonton Eskimos. They step up, one goes, one drops, and he drops to the play side. That was Rennie Curran who dropped out of there, and it looked like Ray maybe rushed it thinking he was getting full blitz and didn't.
Prefontaine looks for the corner, and the line drive goes out around the 10. So the Eskimos down by 8, backed up when we return.
I want to introduce you to the Argonauts. Aside from the Go Argos Go fight song after Toronto touchdowns, this band can be heard downtown and around the stadium before the games. It was founded back in 1995. There are 40 active members. They're all volunteers, and the hope for this group, the Argonauts, is that they will take their show on the road to Regina for the 101st Grey Cup game and go head-to-head with the Rough Riders pep band. Wow, that's what they like to do.
That's throwing down the gauntlet.
The challenge is out there from the Argonauts.
Eskimos start at their 10. Down by 8. And a fly sweep. Harry Cope. Leading Robinson in pursuit, and he'll toss it out. As Argos go flying into the signage, McCune and Robinson in pursuit of the ball carrier, Kerry Koch.
Yeah, I don't like the signage's chance when it's Robert McCune coming at you. He took out a whole row of the signage. That's what he can do. Watch 45 fly out there. Kerry Koch gets the outside. It looked like they tried to hold up so they didn't draw a penalty, but watch McCune try and get out of the way and take down signs and take out the fencing and whatever else is in his path.
2nd and 6, flag down. Riley's got time. As a receiver, Marcus Henry. Riley on target to the 29. Let's see if it stands.
See what the flag is, but that's a nice throw. That's the type of throw that Coach LaPolice showed you at halftime about just putting it on the receivers. He sits in that soft spot of the zone and see if it's coming back.
Edmonton number 86. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Matt Carter offside for the 2nd time in the game. And that puts them back in the hole.
Last time they were back down in here, remember they hit Fred Stamps on a wheel route down the sideline. Argo's going with more of a 30 front in the 2nd half and 4 linebackers. 3 defensive linemen.
2nd and 11. 4-man rush. Riley a Kaufman. That one knocked down, incomplete, but was up for grabs for Alonzo Lawrence. Riley didn't get a lot on it. Was that tipped?
I'm not sure if it was tipped, but I know Khalif Mitchell reestablished the line of scrimmage. Watch the push Big 96 is going to get in the middle as he just drives it back here. Right back into the lap of Ricky Ray, and was that Tony Washington getting a chance? The former offensive lineman moving over to the D-line, working beside Khalif Mitchell, both of them getting a good push in the middle.
And during the last couple of weeks, Tony Washington, who is a tackle by trade on the offensive side, has been working with the defensive line. And he makes an impact there. And that's why that ball sailed on Mike Riley and fell short of the target and really was up for grabs for the Argo secondary.
Yeah, it was. And now the decision for Kavis Reed. You got to give up 2 here, and if not, you're giving Chad Owens the football in field goal range already.
Chad limbering up at midfield.
It's right in that area where they just might, if they think they can get a big kick here. No.
And Shaw will put a knee down, concede 2 as the Argo lead is extended. Khalif Mitchell revving up the crowd as we check our sack tally, brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check, and a couple for the Argos in this game. Marcus Ball and Cleon Lang.
Yeah, they move up to number 15. No sack for Khalif Mitchell yet, but he did get a good push on that last play. Along with Tony Washington, converted from O-line to D-line, and that's interesting because I've seen it happen the other way, where D-linemen get big and then they end up on the O-line.
Khalif Mitchell handling his PR. Did play a little defensive line in the Arena League. And those 2 guys are alone for the Eskimos offensive line. Owens on the run. And he'll step out just beyond the 45-yard line. Well, the last 3 starts for Ricky Ray have been as good as you're going to see in a 3-game run in the Canadian Football League.
Has yet to throw an interception this year, and you know, I don't even think he's been close, or the Edmonton Eskimos, I should say, have been close to picking him in this game tonight.
He has dipped, though, under 90%.
Oh,
It's 88.9, so pressure's on here.
Remarkable.
4-6, drop that, picks it up, and he'll take a shot. Looking for Childs, he got it. Flag down in the Eskimos secondary. A little composure there from Ray, who dropped the snap, but still hit a streaking John Childs.
Composure and accuracy. John Childs didn't break stride.
Being thrown. Illegal contact on the receiver. Edmonton number 12. That penalty's declined. First down.
TJ Hill, the culprit, but it doesn't matter.
Layered routes, and Ricky Ray is going to get Giles after he's recovered. Now, keep in mind, he does not see the coverage now, and he doesn't see downfield until he picks up the football. He's only got a split second to recognize that it was man, and he just throws it out in front of John Childs and lets him use his speed to go get it.
Next completion likely will put him over 300, and he's got Chad Owens another catch. Owens out of bounds around the 5. Ryan Hawaiian is feeling it.
And you're right, Chris, that puts him over 300 for the 70th time of his career, and the 11th as a Toronto Argonaut. We've got over a quarter to play.
70th 300-yard game. He's looking for his 90th career win tonight. 6-2. First and goal, Argos. And Ray in trouble. Slipped with the football. Picked up by Paul King. Big man. He is off the
Yeah, man. You gotta love that.
He got 5 more yards. That would have been the highlight of the year.
I think big Chris Schultz in the studio, you got to believe he jumped out of his seat there. The big man got a chance to carry the rock. Jarrell King. Now, first of all, pressure. We're talking about when the Edmonton Eskimos might get pressure. This time it's Odell Willis with a great spin move that causes the problems, and then watch the fun begin then. A little move in the open field there.
That's about 15 yards on the return.
Rennie Curran jumps up and hits him, bounces right off, and watches.
Well, we need more 6'5", 315-pound running backs. Second and goal. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Chad Owens. Be a flag on that taunt of a celebration.
I think Owens was just reacting to the hit. I think he may have thought it was a little late, but Chad Owens gets the touchdown. Jarrell King gets the assist. He gets the helper on this one.
Second receiving touchdown of the year for Owens.
Look at that move. A little shake and bake on Chris Thompson at the line of, or right at the goal line. And it was that little pushing and shoving with TJ Hill at the end.
After the touchdown, objectionable conduct. Corner number 2. 10 yards will be applied on the kickoff.
Got called on the retaliation, but Jarrell King recovers a fumble created by Odell Willis, and the Argonauts capitalize.
So that's Willis with 2 forced fumbles in the game, but the Eskimos unable to come up with the football, and the Argos put it in. 4 plays, 64 yards, and a touchdown catch for Chad Owens.
Now, I don't think Jarrell King's going to get to 192 yards per game anytime soon, like Chad Owens, but that was a fun play to watch, set up that touchdown by number 2.
I watch your favorite heroes save the world in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a new series Tuesday this fall on CTV.
A couple members of the junior cheerleaders, which is a cool initiative here by the Toronto Argonauts to go online and you sign up and they can come out and cheer with the regular cheer team for 3 games of the regular season. This is their second game, and there's 60 of them.
Home game on August 23rd to get in on the 1983.
So you got to scout players and you got to scout cheerleaders.
16-0, the run for the Argonauts here in the third quarter. trying to kickstart a little momentum for Edmonton. May have something here. Up near midfield where he's angled out by Pat Watkins. 30-yard return, and Mike Riley's got a short field to work with, and they need to get some offense to get back in it.
Yeah, right now. You know, this is a very important drive. I mean, Mike Riley has watched any momentum he had with a real good first half disappear. The couple of Argonauts scores here. It's where the pressure on the young quarterback starts to build. Just 2 completions in this half for Mike Riley.
They've had a couple of furious fourth quarters, but have to keep in touch here. Not White, not much there. And the run game hasn't been able to put a dent in the Argo defense.
No, Robert McCune has won that battle along with his buddies Marcus Ball and Jamie Robinson when they play a lot of that 3-man front with 4 linebackers. Those guys flowing to the ball and shutting down the run for the Eskimos.
Loss on the play, 2nd and 12. Down the sidelines, unable to reach the first down stick, but did well to absorb the hit and stay upright.
I believe it was Alonzo Lawrence. By the time that White hits the flat here, corner number 24, Alonzo Lawrence, steps up and he absorbs that hit, just sees him in time. And it was just in time. That was going to be a knockout shot.
3rd 2 and out to the second half for the Eskimos.
Get him go.
Short kick, and Owens on the run. And Chad Owens is up across the 35 with another good return as he is over 200 yards in all-purpose tonight.
Over his average. On a similar pace to a year ago. The only thing that's dropped off a little bit for Chad Owens is his punt return average, but all it takes is one big one. That was sort of in that medium category, but one big one and the average jumps back up. It's a little bit down from last year, but still leading the league in receiving. Had the big 118-yarder and a missed field goal.
16 on that return, 20 his longest on the season. Big to Quinn Porter, back in Owens' hands, and there it goes again. All the way to midfield.
Jarrell King, he's pumped up. He's watching Chad Owens. He said, okay, listen, I carried the ball pretty good and set up your last touchdown. But now let me get back to do what I do best, which is help you when you have the football. And Jarrell King's going to get the big block in the open field. It's going to come from the right of your screen, folks. And he comes into the screen. It's right there on Rennie Curran. Curran had a chance, a shot at making that tackle in 61. He disappeared behind 61.
Second 100-yard game of the season for Owens at 101, and Ricky Ray takes off. And he doesn't want to do that too often. T.J. Hill, the tackle. On that left knee that's given him trouble. Final play of the third quarter, a good one for Toronto. Great night here in Toronto, roof open, and the offense of the Toronto Argonauts is really lighting it up once again. It's their 4th straight game over 30 points.
Well, the difference in that third quarter was that the Edmonton Eskimos were matching it in the first half, but didn't in the second. Just 19 yards passing for Mike Riley in the second half. And one other number that's a big one, Chris. Going back to last year, the Argos 8-0. This year, 3-0 when leading going into the fourth quarter.
Tough to keep pace with a guy as hot as Ricky Ray. Did you notice anything the Argos changed up defensively?
Not a lot, except for it looks like they were sound. I mean, it was just an adjustment to that hurry-up offense for the Edmonton Eskimos, and that they weren't missing assignments in the third quarter.
You're right, which we did see on a few occasions in the first half. But you don't want to get into a shootout with this guy, especially as sharp as he has been in the last month. Second down, and he throws another strike to Jason Barnes. Another first down for the Toronto Argonauts. Argos with over 400 yards offense through 3 quarters. For the third time this year, they've been over 400, 489 twice. And Scott Milanovich's team is apparently en route to a 500-plus game the way they're going. First down, they take the sweep to Owens, and now back the other way. And there was some pressure from Rennie Curran.
Well, you almost have to now if you're Edmonton. I mean, if you're Edmonton Eskimos here defensively, really got to try and create some turnovers, try and get some pressure, see if you can get in Ricky Ray's face here. Rennie Curran's going to slide over. He ends up going outside, but he does come on the blitz. And the one thing about Ray's game is you know where he'll be. You know where the target is. It's about 6-7 yards behind the center.
2nd and 10. Owens, and that through his hands, as he may have taken a quick look to see where he was going to run.
You made a good point, too, earlier, Chris, about Odell Willis, who, you know, he's had a couple of great pressures tonight. He's had a couple of forced fumbles, and the Edmonton Eskimos haven't been able to capitalize on it. He did everything he could to get to the quarterback on that last play, and I didn't get there, but he has been playing hard and just not getting the payday from it.
So Prefontaine on. This would be a season high or a season best for Prefontaine from 45 yards out. And it's off the bar, dead ball. Off the upright, a miss. And it remains a 17-point Toronto lead. Time for Paul Appolice and the coach's playbook, brought to you by GM.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the things Ricky's done early in this game. This is a clip all the way back to the second quarter, and it just shows everything slowed down for the guy. You know, what we're showing you here is a play a lot of teams in the CFL run. The number 2 receiver, he's going to motion inside. The number 3 receiver is going to sit out over the number 2 receiver's alignment, and the number 1 receiver is going to go out to the flat. Now, watch what happens here. The deep players have to stay with the deep third player. They're not sure where he's going, stay in the deep third. The halfback sees the player move up into his spot on the hash mark, so he jumps him, leaving this whole area of the field open. If that halfback pushed out to the flat, they would have thrown to the player on the hash. Ricky's seen this 100 times. That's what you do. Part of the reason the guy is 27 of 32, 354 yards and 3 TDs, guys.
I'd say you blitz him, Coach. I know he can beat the blitz, but...
Well, the Eskimos now trying to author one of those fourth-quarter comebacks. Riley pulls it down. A flag comes down. And he'll take a hit up around the 35-yard line. Fourth-quarter comebacks falling short in Montreal on the goal line and against Hamilton.
Holding. Edmonton number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Left tackle Thaddeus Coleman against Hamilton back on August the 2nd. It was a late rush for a 50-yard game-winning field goal that came up short, but they have been productive in the fourth quarter of late.
Well, they're going to have to try and get squeeze as many plays in as they can, because
that against Hamilton, 155 yards in the fourth quarter. They've got to be able to generate that tonight. Scrambling around, pressure on, he'll launch it, Argo's under it, and it's caught! How about that? Somehow Nate Kuhorn with a miraculous catch.
Well, it's because Matt Black and Josh Gatlin basically fought for it, the 2 teammates, And Nate Kuhorn just waited for that battle to continue and then ended up with it in his lap as he was lying on his back. You see 39 and 13 fight for it. Alonzo Lawrence got in there too. It tipped off his fingers, I think, as well. And Kuhorn says, I'll take that.
And disbelief at the Argo bench. Kuhorn has his longest catch of the year. It's a 51-yarder. Mike Riley's over 300 yards. Marcus Bohl shaken up on the play, and somehow Mike Riley is not.
I don't know how he's not, because he took a huge hit. Desperation time, and I don't blame him for just giving it a shot. There's where Marcus Bohl puts the hit on Riley, and he goes, well, that worked out. Now can I get back there and call another play? But watch the fight here at the other end. I mean, this is the safety and his halfback going after, both playing the pick.
So Black had a shot at it. Gatlin a shot at it. It went off the helmet of Alonzo Lawrence. And just another catch for Nate Kuhorn. So Marcus Bohl helped to the sidelines. Jonathan Hood will take his spot in the Argo defense. So that play gives the Eskimos some life. Still over 12 minutes to go. Gunned over the middle. Stamps has got it. Jalil Carter the tackle, but Fred Stamps a first down. Edmonton at the 22.
You know, the way this Edmonton team lost their last two games on basically the last play of the game, it's almost like they deserve to get a break. And they got one on the Nate Kuhorn, now taking advantage of it. They hit Fred Stamps over the middle. They got to cash in.
First down from the 22. Eskimos reset. And Riley looks for Stamps. He'll come up with it. Another good battle between Fred Stamps and Jalil Carter.
It really has been all night, and this was recognition, first of all, from Mike Riley, and he wants to go to Stamps in this matchup because he's got his best receiver in the lineup in a one-on-one. And Fred Stamps is going one-on-one on Jalil Carter, who stays again on that inside. Stamps has to fight through Carter to get to the football. He doesn't put his hands up to screen him. Well played. Carter's played a good game tonight. Very good game. Stamps going to make his catches, and he's had a couple, but they weren't on Jalil Carter at that time.
Second and 10. A pump and into the end zone. Turned out. Can't catch up with it. A little too strong. A stride too strong for the intended target. And the field goal team will come on.
Well, it looked like Mike Riley turned to the bench and almost tried to talk Havers Reed into saying, let's take a shot at it in 3rd and 10 here.
I was thinking about it too, but 17 points, get 3 and take it down to 2 touchdowns with a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, I think you're right. There is a lot of time, especially in Canadian football. Take the points, some momentum back from the fortunate Nate Kuhorn catch and then the Fred Stamps catch.
Shaw from 28. And Grant Shaw has missed it. Ouch. It'll go for 1. And now they need 2 touchdowns and a pair of 2-point converts.
Well, Havers Reed made the right decision, didn't get the execution.
So it's a 33-17 lead for the Argonauts after the 28-yard miss by Grant Shaw. Ricky Ray on the night, 354 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Career best for Ray, 469 yards passing. They start on the ground here with Quinn Porter at the running back spot.
Sorry, Chris. That Edmonton Eskimo team, you got to feel for them in some ways when you think that they get the big break and maybe deserved one over the last couple of weeks and last few games from that Nate Kuhorn catch. Cayman Street makes the right decision. They get a little momentum back, and we're going to kick the field goal, make it a 2-possession game, and then their kicker misses what should be automatic.
Second and 8, Toronto. Pressure on, and Ray's lost the ball again, and Chris Van Zyl says if King can take it, I will too.
And again, it's Odell Willis. I mean, Odell Willis. He has been working. I mean, this guy can look at this game and say, you know, I did my thing. You know, I put it out there, because I believe that's his third forced fumble.
I think it's the best game we've seen him play this year.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is, especially, well, certainly in the pass rush department.
Well, the Eskimo defense needed a quick stop to get it. And Prefontaine kicking to Kerry Cope. And Chad Rimple down in a hurry. Gabriel finishes him off. Good downfield cover by the Argos. CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Only got one after a fortunate 51-yard connection from Riley through the hands of some Argos to Nate Kuhorn.
I don't think you deviate from the game plan all that much right now. There's still plenty of time. Make sure you come away with points in this possession.
They'll screen it, and it's Hugh Charles. And Charles to midfield.
And Daddy Simeon Rotier gets the key block. I believe it was on the hammer, Robert McCune. Rotier gets out there from that guard spot. Just to the left of your screen, watch 65. Now, Robert McCune has a chance. He gets out in front of him, gets down low, cuts the legs out from underneath him, and that gets Hugh Charles around the corner.
Eskimo backs did not have a catch in the last game against Hamilton. That's a little surprising, the not using Charles as a receiver. In fact, at one point this year, Kivas Reed talked about Hugh Charles should be the running back in general should be your number 2 receiver. Hasn't worked out that way. An injured Argo as rookie Jermaine Gabriel, the former Calgary Colt, was shaken up on that last tackle. Young guy that's traveled from coast to coast to pursue his football career, and has been a good Argo rookie.
Now rotates in that secondary and will at times be a deep cover player along with the safety Matt Black, who, by the way, is really settling into that safety spot. I think maybe the most pleasant surprise I've seen from this Argo lineup is the play of Matt Black at safety.
First down midfield, Edmonton. Hits Charles out of the backfield again. And Charles racing for the first down stick will step out short.
I'm with you, though, on getting Charles more involved. I mean, over the first 4 games of the season, you know, he was getting 9 touches, and in the last 2 it dropped by a couple of touches, and that may seem like not that much, but for a running back, it's those top, when you get past 10, that you really start to settle in and be able to accomplish something. And his touches have declined over the last couple of weeks.
Well, he had 552 yards receiving last year on 32 catches. Just 9 catches so far this season, and 2 have come on those back-to-back plays. Kuhorn, and he was left exposed. Alonzo Lawrence was closing down quickly.
Well, the other thing you can do with that, Chris, for Edmonton, if you get the ball to Charles in the passing game, you might get the matchup you're looking for if he can run on like a Robert McCune middle linebacker. You don't like the matchup if he's on a DB, but if he can get on a linebacker, then you might have a chance. McCune is a run stopper. He's a true middle guy. But if he ever has to extend, get out in space, now the edge goes to Hugh Charles. We just haven't seen it tonight.
Here's crunch time. It's third, 2.5. And the Eskimos stay on the field offensively. Riley has some time. He's got a receiver. Marcus Henry hangs on. Clutch catch. And a first down, Edmonton.
Took a big hit. He's still feeling it as Marcus Henry did a real good job of hanging on to this football because it was out away from his body, and that's the way he wants to catch, a little bit behind him. By the time he turned around, he gets rocked by Matt Black.
And in those comeback bids against Montreal and Hamilton, it was Henry who made the key catches to set things up. 5 for 96 of the night. Jumped off again. Charles the grab. Now trying to get outside and is buried at the 22. Lawrence and Robinson on the tackle.
It's an example of him in space with Robert McCune. When McCune's filling holes running downhill on the run game, it's to his advantage. That time he was in space with number 7.
But suddenly this is the Hugh Charles receiving drive for the Eskimos. 8 sets up 2nd and 2. Riley into the end zone for Chambers. Did he catch it? He did. Oh, what a catch by Shamon Chambers. The Toronto area product has the touchdown. And it was a beauty.
Was it ever? And maybe this is the catch that can take Shamon Chambers to the next level in his career. Sometimes it's one play that can put you over the top. Little look off by Mike Riley. He puts it up and lets his receiver go after it. Jalil Carter can't cover him any better. And Shamon Chambers comes down with it.
24 years of age out of Laurier, and that's the best catch he's made in the Canadian Football League. And a big one here. The offense will stay out and go for 2.
Well, I had a good conversation with Shamon Chambers before the game, and he said, it feels good to be back home, familiar territory. This might be the game.
All those 14 tickets he bought just gave those fans a show. Now for 2. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Stamps can't hang on in traffic. So it's a 10-point Argo lead. Still lots of time left as Shamon Chambers makes one of the plays of the night. First round pick, number 6 overall in the 2012 draft. What a catch by Shamon Chambers. Pride of Markham. And a souvenir for that group of 14, family and friends.
Yes, sir. Markham District High School. Played his minor football with the Markham Raiders and the Toronto Thunder. Back home, familiar territory. What a catch.
So the Eskimos trying to claw their way back into this game. Argo football, but first let's check in with the coach, Paul LaPolice.
Thanks, Chris. And what you saw from that when Mike Riley threw that almost interception that was caught, I think he went back to the sideline and composed himself, and he didn't throw any bad throws later in the game. He decided I'm going to now take the checkdowns. That's what he did that last drive. And then the throw to Fred Stamps earlier that he missed, he now makes. It was the exact same play to Shamon Chambers. He located the football, give him an opportunity to make a play. So the kid's responding. He's doing a very good job of bringing Edmonton back into the game, guys.
Just under 800 yards of passing offense in this game. A hurdle from Owens as he leapt over Odell Willis, who gets him coming back the other way. Odell Willis makes the play, and Chad Owens is dropped.
This is his best game. The best game of 2013. First of all, he gets great penetration to force Owens to bubble. Owens got a bubble here because 41's there. Now he gets up off the turf, and Owens reverses his field, comes back, and it's Odell Willis who brings him down.
Playing like the mayor.
Yeah, that's the kind of player he can be. I mean, we haven't seen it all season long, but we're seeing it tonight.
Self-proclaimed mayor of Swaggerville when he was in Winnipeg. Pass to Dury. And Dury is going to be close to a first down and ran into a wall right near the first down stick, and now tempers start to flare. The spot's going to be interesting here. Punt team looks like it's coming on for Toronto, as Dury's going to come up a couple yards short, and another 2 and out by that Edmonton defense when they need it the most.
Created by 41.
Spots at the 32, look like he had to get to the 33. They are going to measure to give Scott Milanovic a little more time to make the decision.
Although Jason Pottinger for the Argos is out there, he'd be on the punt cover team.
That's a full yard and a little bit more.
And Milanovic had walked almost out to the numbers anyway to take a good long look at exactly where they did spot the ball, and he had that punt team out and ready.
So the Eskimos hanging around. Kerry Cope back, standing just inside the Edmonton 40-yard line. Took one back against the Alouettes in Montreal. Short kick. Cope's got it. There'll be a 15-yard no yards penalty against the Argos. Pottinger the tackle, but it did look like somebody was within that 5-yard halo.
And I agree with Coach that Mike Riley's bouncing back here. Remember, he only had 19 yards passing in the third quarter. And in this fourth quarter, he keeps clawing away.
No yards.
And has passed Ricky Ray.
Number 39, 15-yard penalty.
Overall passing yardage, and is closing in on his very first 400-yard passing game in his young career.
First time he's played against the Argos in his brief career. We've seen progression from him. I know it's a 1-5 team. They are in danger of losing their 5th in a row, barring a big comeback here in the fourth quarter. Hard to hang it all on him, as he seems to be getting better by the week. After the penalty, they start at the 50. And again, it's Charles under the backfield. And they'll cut it back. It's a first down. And a flag is tossed near the end of that play.
Right near the end. Good ball placement from Mike Riley there to Hugh Charles.
And again, as the coach said, taking what the Argos are giving him.
Charles got to be careful there to get his head around quickly, but Riley put it right where he had to allow him to turn the corner and pick up those extra yards. Sorting out this penalty, it was real late in the play, almost after Hugh Charles went down.
After the first down was gained, illegal participation. Edmonton number 4, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Ran out of bounds and came back in play. I think that's an incorrect number. It would have been Kerry Cope, number 84.
Yep. Don't have a 4 in the Eskimo lineup, but it is Cope, we presume. And back at the 45 and first down. Riley snaps. Another Edmonton first down at the 30.
Don't go away. Don't go away.
Well, they've taken it down to the final play in their last 2 games and look determined to do it again. Well, stop number 4 on the Craft Celebration Tour is beautiful Invermere, BC. We'll see Jennifer Hedger in their position there. Live coverage gets underway tomorrow, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, here on TSN. Good quarterback duel tonight. Mike Riley over 400 yards. And there's Chambers, who had the touchdown catch, gets cut down this time. Good sure tackle by the newcomer and reigning Defensive Player of the Week, Alonzo Lawrence.
They just outnumber, the Edmonton Eskimos outnumber Toronto on this play. They just get 4 receivers out here, and when you take a look at what in coverage is 3 Toronto Argonauts, pretty simple. They outnumber them and find the underneath man who's open.
Over 400 yards means Riley has the season best passing game. Pressure on, crosser to Coach, and Robert McCune makes sure Coke doesn't get first down yardage. Drops him at the 24.
Kick a field goal. Down by 10. Need the field goal and the touchdown to come back. So
get that out of the way.
Take that now.
Just make sure you get it.
Yes. Oh, and they're short a man now, so Edmonton scrambling to get the field goal team out there.
And they were short too as the
Davis Reed does not want to have to.
Well, they were only short one. Coleman has to scramble back. Coleman and O'Donnell both went on. Got it set. Now shot from 30 out. He's got this one. And it is a 7-point game, and we're in for a finish here in Toronto.
Now you're at 2:10. Davis Reed, you're right in that time where you can kick it deep.
Well, the Argos are going to take
the Argos will take the ball
at the 35.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd be kicking away anyway.
Yeah.
In fact, we saw in Montreal, they kicked with 1.5 minutes to go and got the football back. So they've got 2 consecutive 2-and-outs. Let's see if Edmonton can do it again. They've suddenly cooled Ricky Ray. Pitch to Owens. Into traffic. Going nowhere. Reddy Curran slams the door in his face.
Was it Bear Bryant that said that football games come down to 3 plays? Just don't know which 3, or is it 5 plays? You just don't know which 5? Well, I know one. It's this one.
Timer. Please reset the clock to 2:05. 2:05.
Going to add 2 seconds back on the clock. Argos led by a point at the half, scored 16 in the third quarter.
Now take the kickoff after the field goal. You could kill some more time on the clock on the special teams play. Quick 2-and-out here, and the strategy backfires a little bit.
Always a good debate here too, and if you run the ball, you take a little more time off the clock. And people say you're conservative, but if you end up with an incompletion here,
that's right.
There's a lot of time on the clock, but the Argos do need a first down. And Ricky Ray going for a lot more than that. Childs. Unreal. And suddenly it's the Eskimos in scoring range.
Unreal.
Excuse me, the Argos in scoring position.
Yeah, complete composure. Straight go route on 2nd and 8 with the game on the line, having to convert. And Ray, complete composure, trusts his accuracy, trusts his arm, and trusts his receiver to run underneath it.
And got behind the veteran in that secondary, Chris Thompson. Ricky Ray over 400 on the night.
You know, in fairness to Thompson, I don't think you're anticipating in that scenario that the Argos are going to try and push it deep. But if you get the matchup you want, you get the receiver you want, throw it up there and let them get it. And John Childs has had a big night tonight, has a touchdown, 135 yards receiving, and he now has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. But that was money on 2nd and 8. That's what good teams do. Find a way.
Just the 8th time in Ricky Ray's career he's been over 400. They've been held under 300 against the Eskimos. And here's Quinn Porter trying to get outside. Down. Porter does step out to stop the clock.
Not a bad run to take it wide, but when you get to about the numbers, Porter in this scenario has got to turn it up the field and just take the hit.
Or hit the deck. But it does stop the clock, and it's a bit of a break for the Eskimos.
Although you're in chip shot field goal range here at worst case scenario, and a first down here, pretty much Ricky Ray can wrap it up. 413 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wow. Both quarterbacks over 400.
Porter again, and wrapped up by Ramasian. Well, if Shaw hadn't missed the field goal, they got one. It would have been 3, and this field goal wouldn't have been the kill shot. Nobody hung it on him last game when he missed from 50, but the miss here tonight from 28 is going to keep him up tonight. So now it's Prefontaine's turn. He'll try and put this out of reach. Ran the clock down and then puts it through. So once again, it's a 10-point Argo lead, and for the 4th consecutive game, the Argos over 35 points. Wrapping up week 8, and CFL on TSN will continue on Thursday. The BC Lions, Montreal Alouettes will have live coverage getting underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific here on TSN.
This offense is impressive in Toronto, that's for sure. You mentioned those points. Minor football guys in town. Mention those points. They've been over 30 points, 35 against Winnipeg, 38 back-to-back BC Montreal, and 36 tonight. Interesting stat by Steve Daniel, the league office, who mentioned that 3 games leading into this one, the Argos have beat opponents by 16 points or more. That's the first time that's happened in 16 years here in Toronto. They've got a great football team here that Marcus Brady, the offensive coordinator, he's got Scott Milenovich, who knows the quarterback position so well because he played it himself, Ricky Ray, and then you can throw in the guy right beside him, who is Jason Moss. They know a thing or two about offense, and it's showing. I mean, that's 4 straight wins, all over 30 points on the board. And to have the confidence and experience and to throw that deep ball to John Childs on 2nd and 8 with the game in the line.
Mike Riley's pass for 435 yards. Ray 413, add in the Colaros 45-yarder. And we're 6 yards shy of 900 passing yards on the night. And Mike Riley wants to add to the totals in a hurry. Gary Cope lunging out. About a yard short of the first down.
Now the Argos secondary's got to back way off. They're going to allow all that underneath stuff and just keep their eye on the clock and that 58 seconds as it runs down.
Doesn't get any easier for the Eskimos. Next game at home against the Saskatchewan Roughriders a week from tonight, then back-to-back with Calgary.
Labor Day and Labor Day rematch right around the corner.
They hand it off. Argos were sending pressure, and Charles straight up ahead to get the first down up at the 52. The Argos will continue a homestand on Friday against the Stampeders here, and we'll play a 3rd consecutive home game on September 3rd against Montreal.
Getting down by 10. If Riley threw one at about 30, 35 yards and they lined up to kick the field goal immediately, try an onside kick, and if pink elephants could fly, Well, it's wishful thinking, but the thing I think that they found is that the Edmonton Eskimos have found a quarterback they can build around. Over 400 yards for Mike Riley tonight. Stalled in the third quarter. Came back hard in the fourth.
Here comes the heat. Riley gets it away. It's another hit by Kerry Coke down to the 41-yard line. So they're in a position now where he likely can take a shot to the end zone.
All go. Just get it on the line of scrimmage, call that all go. Throw one up maybe to Marcus Henry. He's got that good height.
Clock running. Riley throwing it to Chambers, and he gets hit immediately. Big close there by Lawrence. So it'll be second down, and be surprised if he doesn't take a shot here. Down by more than one score, and they're going to take what the Argos are giving them. Down to the 23, but this is taking a lot of time.
Well, they give them all the underneath stuff. I mean, when it's a 10-point game, if it was one possession, the Argos would have to play differently completely, obviously, because they'd have to play the regular defense, but you'll kick the field goal here on first down.
But the Argos will take the ball at the 35 and just let it out. So. And now Davis Reed is on the field. Not sure you can.
No,
it's a first down. I think he's trying to wave off the field goal.
Yes, he is. Just realize that what you said, that the Argos could take the ball after the field goal and end the game. So you got to take a shot.
And Grant Shaw's not sure.
Flexible conduct. Edmonton coach. 10-yard penalty. Main second down.
Well, that's one way to stop the clock without using a timeout. And there seems to be still some confusion. Kerry Joseph not sure, and now the offense is coming back.
Yeah, he's saying, Mike, get out there. They got to take a shot.
Strategy would have been sound had it not been for the fact the Argos just take the ball at the 35.
The Argos have the option, that's right. Like they did on the last field goal.
First down, out of the end zone and too far for Stamps, who was double covered on the play. Gatlin and Alonzo Lawrence blanketing him. 8 seconds left. Mike Riley's numbers getting better by the week, but it's not what he's concerned about. Made it quite clear. It's all about the win column. 311 passing yards last week, over 400 today.
He faced the hottest quarterback in the league, and maybe the best offense.
Escapes, launches, Stamps, touchdown! Riley to Stamps on the final play to make it a little closer. What a valiant effort by
timer.
His first-year starter.
The clock to 1 second.
And they're going to put 1 second on the board. He goes over 500 yards passing on the night, and it's going to be in a losing cause.
It's over 800 yards passing, Chris, in his last 2 games. I think they found their quarterback. They just now have to continue to build and believe and get a Darius Bowman back in the back half of the season, the second half of the season, and that'll help their receiving core.
Ready to come off the 9 game, and Bowman's last full season was numbers matching Fred Stamp. So get those two guys together, and it's going to be a tougher team to play in the back half of this season. But it will be the 5th consecutive loss for the Edmonton Eskimos. And the Argos will move to 5-2 and win their 4th consecutive game for the first time in 6 years.
Well, there's no time that comes off the clock on the extra point, so there'll be a kickoff here, and I can't remember what year it was.
Jermaine Copeland, 2002.
Thank you. Caught it in stride. Again, you're good for a miracle, but playing against the hottest quarterback in the league, who still hasn't thrown an interception and is in the 90 percentile.
Beat the Eskimos in the Eastern Semi last year for the first time against his old team, and now will post his first regular season win.
See, Chad Owens is going to play more as a safety than he is to. He'll return this if it's in that, if they try and just moon the kick in behind that front line. So he's almost playing free safety and kick returner here. Might want to try and just drop it in behind that front line, see if they can't get someone to run underneath it.
Try and chase it down. Owens just has to surrender there, and that'll do it. Zeros on the clock, and it is a 4-game win streak for the Toronto Argonauts, who moved to 5-2 despite a 500-yard-plus game from Mike Riley. The Eskimos are 1-6. So long from Toronto.